Korea before crashing into a wall and bursting into flames. Authorities say they suspect a combination of factors caused the crash.
The cause of this accident is believed to be a bird strike and other factors, such as bad weather, and the exact cause will be announced through a joint investigation with the relevant agency.
Rescue workers are searching the wreckage, but the fire department say the plane has been almost completely destroyed in the blaze, and identifying the deceased is proving difficult. Jeju Air quickly issued an apology, saying they are doing all they can to respond to the incident.
I would like to bow my head and apologize to all those who cherish Jeju Air. Above all, I would like to express my deepest condolences and apologies to the passengers and their families who lost their lives in this accident.
181 passengers and crew were on board the flight from Bangkok's Suvarnabhumi Airport, including at least 2 Thai nationals among the many dozens of South Koreans.
Let's speak now to journalist Jen Moon. She's at the site of the crash in Muan. Jen, thank you for being with us. What are you seeing right now?
Right. I'm here at Muan International Airport in South Cholla Province, which is about 288 kilometers south of the South Korean capital, Seoul. Hours after the crash, right now I'm seeing mortuary vehicles lining up to take bodies away, and authorities are telling me that a temporary morgue has been established. The crash site, I can tell you, smells a lot of aviation fuel. I'm seeing a lot of workers in protective suits and masks who are combing the area while soldiers are searching through bushes for possible recovered dead bodies. 124 people have been recovered, bodies have been recovered from the site, with 55 people still missing.
And Jen, this comes at a pivotal time in South Korea. What's the reaction in the country to this tragedy?
Right. So a lot of shock as the crash happened took place early on Sunday morning. So roughly about 8 hours ago, this Sunday morning, and the plane crash, which is one of the deadliest plane crashes in South Korean aviation history so far, couldn't come at a worse time as this nation goes through a political chaos with a president impeached about a few weeks ago, followed by the impeachment of the acting president, then acting president, who was the prime minister, and now in power is another acting president who is third in line, the vice prime minister of this country. He has declared the zone a special disaster zone. He was here to look at the site and to support the bereaved families. I'm also seeing lots of family members rushing to the site to identify bodies or in hopes of finding their loved ones who were on board to have survived. But authorities here tell me that hopes are fading, and it's very slim right now of any kind of recovery.
Okay. South Korean journalist Jen Moon, thank you for giving us that update.
Thanks.
Richard Levy is an aviation expert. I asked him what could have caused the crash.
Good morning, Tommy. I see two things. One, the landing gear is retracted, and it appears, it's not so easy to see, that the flaps are retracted also. The reason I bring that up is because the airplane is traveling very fast along the runway. Again, the landing gear comes off one hydraulic system on the left side, and there's news reports that the left engine had been on fire or had flames coming out of it, the landing gear is extended from power from the left engine. However, there's a backup system in the cockpit, in the flight deck, that you have cables, handles you pull, and you can extend the landing gear. So that's a mystery to me of why, even with an engine malfunction, why the crew did not manually extend the landing gear. The other hydraulic system extends the flaps. The flaps come out of the wings. What's the advantage of the flaps? It helps you land at a slow speed. As you can see in the video, they're going at a very fast speed on the runway without the flaps extended, without the landing gear extended. Now I can see the reverse thrust is working. That's a different system also. And they crash into a concrete barrier at the end of the runway.
Right, so just wondering, I mean, we've heard different reports, but the CEO of this airline, Jeju Airline, is suggesting there was no plane malfunction. Can we ascertain that at this stage, that there wasn't a malfunction with getting the landing gear out?
No, of course it is too early. They'll recover what's called the black boxes. That's the cockpit voice recorder. They'll get the conversations of the two pilots and the flight data recorder, which records all the movements of the controls and switches in the cockpit. So they'll put this together. But I do see a malfunction. Of course, it is not normal to land the airplane without the landing gear extended. Even if there had been a malfunction with the engine, I'm not saying it would have been very easy, but in training, and I'm an instructor on this aircraft with a major airline in the United States, we do give engine malfunctions, and the crew would, if possible, execute a go-around and then extend the landing gear, or circle around and then extend the landing gear manually. I happen to respectfully disagree. There is a major malfunction right here.
There have been suggestions of a possible bird strike. Can that affect the landing gear?
I read that also, Tommy, and I find that not impossible, but nearly impossible. Bird strikes do happen at low altitude during takeoff and landing, and the bird will hit an engine or hit the wings, so it could be the source of an engine fire, engine malfunction, but the airplane can safely be flown after a bird strike. The bird strike would affect the landing gear, I don't see that as a possibility. Nothing is impossible. Again, it's too early to say that. And if birds did strike the left engine and the left engine failed, if that's the case, you can still manually extend the landing gear from the flight deck. This is a 737-800, extremely reliable airplane with a very, very good safety record.
We're seeing multiple things here because you're mentioning the aspect of the flaps, but also the landing gear. I'm just wondering, was there any other way this could have been handled? Probably, I don't know if, I mean, this is just my ignorance of aviation, but the point at which the plane hits the runway to give enough time for a skid or I don't know, would there have been another option for the pilots?
To touchdown and skid, if you have no flaps, the flaps will not extend, you're going to have a very fast landing speed. They have a very fast landing speed. So you pick an airport, time permitting, with a very long runway. As you can see from the video there, Tommy, the weather is not a factor. The weather is beautiful this day in South Korea. So that's not a factor. And so the research, the safety investigation will find exactly what happened.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that as time goes on to get more on the story. But aviation specialist Richard Levy in Dallas, thank you very much for your time and your insights.